So from alkanes by free radical substitution. So we can prepare haloalkanes from alkanes by free radical substitution. See, if I take suppose CH4 plus I take Cl2. Now here we'll get CH3Cl plus HCl. You will see CH4, CH3, suppose H plus Cl, Cl. Here the Cl will be homolytic bond fission. Here also the homolytic bond fission. Now this hydrogen atom will be substituted by this chlorine atom. So we'll get what here CH3 Cl and your HCl. Okay, so alkanes when treated with the chlorine or bromine in presence of heat or sunlight, in presence of heat or sunlight, then one or more hydrogen atom of the alkane is replaced by the corresponding number of halogen atoms to give the substituted haloalkanes. This is your methane. Methane is what your chloromethane. Chloromethane. And this reaction proceeds through free radical mechanism. So this involves initiation, propagation and termination of this. And this initiation, propagation and termination of free radical substitutions already you have discussed in the first year. Now this halogenation or substitution of alkane by the halogen atoms takes place in the presence of sunlight or heat. This indicates the light energy. Okay. Now why this required? This is required to generate the free radical. Okay. So because these are photochemical reactions, okay, and photochemical reactions require energy. Okay. Now this reaction, it will take excess amount of chlorine or bromine, then what will happen? The more number of hydrogen atoms will be replaced by the halogens. CH3Cl, again plus Cl2, HMU, you get CH2Cl2 plus HCl. CH2Cl2 plus Cl2, CHCl3 plus HCl. CHCl3 plus Cl2, CCl4 plus HCl. So when you take excess amount of chlorine, then what will happen? More and more hydrogen atoms will be replaced by the halogen atoms to give mono, di, tri, or even tetra halo derivatives. So this is called your monochloromethane, dichloromethane, trichloromethane, tetrachloromethane. Okay, this is called your also your chloroform. Okay, so halogens, when alkanes are treated with chlorine or bromine in presence of sunlight or heat, then one or more hydrogen atoms are substituted by the corresponding number of halogens to give mono, di, tri, or tetra halo derivatives. Okay, so in this case we are taking chlorine or bromine. So because of the highly reactive nature of fluorine, we cannot take fluorine. Simply we are taking chlorine or bromine. Now if we will take iodine, then how will happen? If I take CH4 plus I2, I'll get CH3I plus HI. But we know this HI is a strong reducing agent, so again it reduces this CH3I into methane. That means this will be a reversible reaction. And also the iodination of the methane is endothermic in nature and reversible in nature. So if you want to get the iodination, then we can take CH4 plus I2, we can take HiO3 iodic acid, or we can take HNO3, which are the strong oxidizing agents, and these strong oxidizing agents can react with you HI. So here CH3I plus HI. So here in this case the reaction will be irreversible. Okay, so fluorination of alkane is highly explosive, highly reactive, so we cannot take. Normally we are going for bromination or chlorination, and iodination of alkane is reversible, and endothermic. So to agent, okay, to avoid the reversibility. This is how we can prepare haloalkane from alkane. From alkanes we can prepare haloalkanes by electrophilic addition reaction. By electrophilic addition. Okay, let's see. If I take CH2 double bond CH2 alkene, this is called what? Ethene, plus if I take HBr, hydrogen bromide. So here you see this CH2 double bond CH2 contains a pi bond. So this is your electron rich species. So and here we have HBr, hydrogen bromide, which is a polar compound. Okay, because of the higher negativity of the bromine, this bond will undergo heterolytic bond fission. So it will get a negatively charged. It will get the positive charge, and this we can consider as the electrophile. This you can consider the nucleophile. Now this pi bond will break if on this place. Now this carbon is getting the -1. Now this will attach to the this one. This is your can say plus, this you can say the minus. Okay. So what will happen? We'll get what? CH2 plus CH3. Then we have the Br minus of. Now this will attach to this one. We get what? CH2 Br CH2. This is what? Ethyl bromide. Ethyl bromide. So when alkenes undergo addition reaction with hydrogen halide, then the two species, two atoms are added across the double bond to give the corresponding halo alkane. Okay. So here we have seen alkene undergo addition reaction with this HBr. This pi bond is breaking. We are getting the -1. We are getting the plus charge, and we are getting this CH3 CH2 plus. This is called the intermediate. Called the what? Intermediate. And this is a carbocation. This is a carbocation. Okay, we are getting the carbocation intermediate. Then after this bromide ion is being added here, and we are getting what? The halo alkane. Now this is the case of addition of hydrogen halide to the symmetrical alkene. You see CH2 double bond CH2. It's a symmetrical alkene. What is a symmetrical alkene? If across the carbon-carbon double bond, same number of hydrogen atoms or same number of alkyl groups are attached to the alkene, that is a symmetrical alkene. When across the carbon-carbon double bond, both the sides are not having the same groups, that is called unsymmetrical alkene. So when we will take an unsymmetrical alkene, the addition of HBr or HCl, that will be different. Okay. So see, if I take CH3 CH2 double bond CH2, this is what? Propene, and this is an unsymmetrical alkene. This is an unsymmetrical alkene. An unsymmetrical alkene because this is a double bond. This side we have to the carbon two hydrogen atoms, but this side we have only one hydrogen atom and again one alkyl group. So to the both of the carbon atoms of double bond, same number of hydrogen atoms are not attached. So this is an unsymmetrical alkene. Now if I add HBr here, see suppose I will take this bond breaking to this side, then what will happen? This carbon and this is what? This side, this is your minus, this is your plus. So this carbon will attach to this one. Okay, and I will get what? CH3 CH2 plus CH3. Okay, then I will get what? Br minus You get what? CH3, CH2, BrC3. Okay, and this is the intermediate, and this is what? This is secondary carbocation intermediate. Secondary carbocation intermediate. Now, if I take the same thing in this manner, double bond CH2 plus HBr. Now, if I take this pi bond to this side, this is the double bond. This pi bond can be broken and can be taken to this side or to this side. If I take to this side, this becomes minus O. So this will attach to what? This is. So I will get what? CH3, CH2, CH2 plus. Okay. Then Br minus. I will get what? CH3, CH2, CH2, Br. So this is what your primary carbocation intermediate. Okay. Now see, in any reaction, if the intermediate formed is more stable, then the product formed is more stable. Any reaction proceeds to give a stable product. So if in a particular chemical reaction there is a option of giving two products, then the reaction will favor to give the most stable product. And for a particular reaction, so the product is more stable if the intermediate is more stable. So if you compare these two cases, in this case, this we are getting as the intermediate, and this is a secondary carbocation. Okay, and in this case, if you see, this is the intermediate and this is the primary carbocation, and we know secondary carbocation is more stable as compared to primary carbocation. In case of carbocation, the tertiary carbocations are more stable, then secondary carbocation, then primary carbocation. So here in these cases, this we are getting secondary carbocation and this we are getting the primary carbocation. So because here the intermediate is secondary carbocation, so this product is more stable. This is what? This is the major product. This is the major product. Major product. And this becomes what? The minor product. So this one is the major one and this one is the minor one. So in this reaction will favor to give this product. That means in this case, this Br is the negative part, this H is the negative positive part. Now see, here you see in this double bond, this carbon is having two hydrogen atom, this carbon is having one hydrogen atom, and here you see when this negative part is attached to the carbon of the double bond having less number of hydrogen atom, we are getting the most stable product. So when the hydrogen atom is attached to carbon of the double bond having higher number of hydrogen atom and negative part to carbon of double bond having less number of hydrogen atom, then we are getting the stable product. And this is nothing but called the Marconi-Cope's rule. Okay, and so what is Marconi-Cope's rule? when an unsymmetrical reagent is added to an unsymmetrical alkene, then the positive part of the reagent will attach to the carbon of double bond having more number of hydrogen atom, and the negative part of the reagent will attach to the carbon of double bond having less number of hydrogen atom. Okay, and accordingly we are getting the major product. Okay, so whenever we are taking an unsymmetrical alkene, the addition of this unsymmetrical reagent will be followed according to Marconi-Koops rule. That means the negative part will attach to the carbon of double bond having less number of hydrogen atom, and hydrogen or the positive part will attach to the carbon of the double bond having more number of hydrogen atom. Okay, so what we can write? CH3 CHO double bond CH2, okay, get plus HBr, okay, we get what? CH3 CHO Br CH3 and CH3 CH2 CH2 Br. This is what? This is the major, this is the minor. Okay, so propene 2 bromopropane and 1 bromopropane. So 2 bromopropane is the major product and 1 bromopropane is the minor product. And this is what your electrophilic addition reactions. First of all, an electrophile is being added across the carbon-carbon double bond, then the reaction proceeds. Now, when this reaction, the same reaction, we will carry out in the presence of an organic peroxide. That means this addition of HBr only to the unsymmetrical alkene will take place in presence of organic peroxide. Then the reactions will be reversed. That means this one will be the major product and this one will be the minor product. See, CH3 double bond CH2 plus HBr. If I take organic peroxide, if I do this, organic peroxide, okay, for example, if I take benzyl peroxide, then what happens? This becomes now major, this becomes now what? Minor. So when the addition of HBr to unsymmetrical alkene takes place in presence of what? Organic peroxide, then this part will attach to the carbon of double bond having more number of hydrogen atom. Okay, and this positive part will go to the hydrogen atom will attach to the carbon of double bond having less number of hydrogen atom. Okay, now the product here, this one becomes major, this one becomes minor. This is called what? Your cross peroxide effect. This is what? Your cross peroxide effect. So here the addition takes place with what? With your anti-Marconi-Koops rule. anti-Marconi capsule. Why this happens? This happens because this addition reactions proceeds through free radical mechanism. Okay, so here electrophiles are being added. Here this reactions proceeds through free radical mechanism. Let us see. If I take CH3, CH0, now one CH2, CH3, CH2, now one CH2 plus HBr organic peroxide. So here this will be water. Homolytic bond fission. This is because what homolytic bond fission. So we are getting the free radical here. We will get CH3, CH2, CH2, Br. Okay, and this is what will be secondary free radical. Okay, then we will get hardware CH3, CH2, Br. Okay, or I can write CH3, CH2, double bond CH2 plus HBr. If I add your organic peroxide CH3 CH Br CH2, then your CH3 CHBr CH3. This is your primary free radical. Okay, so this is your more stable. This is your less stable. This is your major. This is minor. So in case of free radical, the tertiary free radical is more stable, then secondary, then primary. So in this case, when this bromine, this negative part is attached to this carbon, that is the carbon of the double bond having higher number of hydrogen atom, we are getting a stable free radical intermediate here. Okay, and if this bromine is attached to carbon of the double bond having less number of hydrogen atom, we are getting this one as the free radical, which is the primary one, and the less stable is compared to this one. So that's why in this case this becomes the major product and this becomes the minor product. Okay. So addition of HBr only. Addition of HBr only to unsymmetrical alkene in presence of organic peroxides followed by anti-Markovnikov rule. Okay, and here you remember this is not applicable for HCl. Only we are doing this for HBr. Others we are not taking because of their high bond dissociation energy. So because we have to break these molecules to get the free radical. Okay, CH3, CHO, double bond CH2 plus HBr will get what? CH3, CHO, BrCH3 organic peroxide CH3 CH2 CH2Br. Okay, so this is what your, this is according to Markovnikov rule, and this is what your anti-Markovnikov, anti-Markovnikov. So when we are adding this HBr to unsymmetrical alkane, normally we are getting this product as the major one, but when we do the same thing in presence of organic peroxide, then this becomes the major product one. Okay, propene, two bromo propane, one bromo propane. Okay, this is your measure. Here also this is what measure. Okay, so in this way we can prepare haloalkanes from alkanes, both from symmetrical and also from unsymmetrical alkane. 3CHO CH3 CHO double bond CH2. See, this is alkane, and to the carbon-carbon double bond an iso group is attached. This is an iso group. An iso group is attached. Here if I add HBr, here if I add HBr, what will happen? Simply we will proceed as per the Markovnikov rule. Okay, we will get what? CH3 CH3 HO CHO CH2 CH3 plus. Okay, this pi bonds comes to this one, this becomes minus O. Now this take the electrophile H plus O to give what to this carbonium ion intermediate. Now here you see, in this carbonium ion intermediate, this carbocation is a secondary carbocation. To this carbon by 2 charge. Now we have attached here an iso group. So from this iso group, this hydrogen atom will be shifted to this place, so that we will get what? CH3 plus CH2 CH3. And this becomes a tertiary carbocation. This becomes a what? A tertiary carbocation. And this is what? The secondary carbocation. Now the tertiary carbocation is more stable than the secondary carbocation. So whenever an intermediate is getting a chance to become more stable, then that proceeds in that way, because here there is a chance to convert this carbocation into a more stable one. So in this case, this hydride ion is shifting to this carbocation. So this is called what? This is called what? Hydride shift. This is called what? Hydride shift. So now we get what? CH3 CH3 Br CH2 CH. So here you see the HBr or the hydrogen halide is not being added across the carbon-carbon double bond. Here you see this negative part is attached to this carbon attached to this double bond carbon. Okay, and this is called what your 1,2 hydride shift. Okay, so whenever an intermediate is getting a chance to become more stable, that prefers that way, and we are getting a more stable product. Okay. Similarly, if I have a CH3 here, I have a CH3 here. Then what will happen? Same thing. This is what your CH3. So now what will happen? This methyl group will be shifted to this carbon. Okay, and will get what? CH3. Okay, now the entire methyl group will be shifted because here this is secondary carbocation. Now when this methyl group will be shifted to this one, it becomes now a tertiary carbocation. Okay, so here we will get what? And this is called what your the methyl shift. This is called what your the methyl shift, and we will get what? This is the product. Okay, so and this is what is called the neo group. Okay, so whenever to the carbon-carbon double bond an iso group or a neo group is attached, then there occurs hydride shift or methyl shift to form the more and more stable intermediate that will proceeds to give a more stable product. Okay, so this is the case of how a methyl group is being shifted to the next positively charged carbon atom. Okay.